Hello, Tim from Fairplay Now on the 28th of May 2022. No video from me yesterday, just in case you were wondering. I had a long, hard day work yesterday, and by the time I got home, I was knackered. So all I wanted to do was just sit down and flop out with a beer, bit of dinner and an early night. So that is why that didn't happen yesterday, but back today, and I notice one bit of news that I think happened yesterday was Wales and their little mini dictator Drakeford has announced the end of the last kind of legal lurgy requirement, which was having to still wear masks in any kind of medical or social care environment, care homes, doctors' surgeries, etc., I suppose, hospitals. And that will be coming to an end on Monday, and that marks the end of the very last legal lurgy restriction in the whole of the UK, apparently. So you're going to ask yourself how long for, and Drakeford himself said it may well only be just kind of putting these things on hold rather than a complete sort of a withdrawal of it all. But, and it's just frightening how quickly all of this stuff could be brought back. But even if it doesn't come back, we need to remember just how close we came to levels of utter and complete tyranny with the sort of big V passports that nearly came in, or did come in temporarily, only to be sort of kicked out again before too long, thankfully. And when I was at the stand in the park, I think it was last Sunday, someone there was saying, isn't it amazing how we've had 70 years of people saying never again, never ever again. And he was referring to, of course, the sort of demonisation, victimisation and sort of hounding and persecution of minority groups. And, well, you know what minority group we're talking about, sort of 70 odd years ago, and we've had all of these people for 70 years saying no, that must never happen again under any circumstances. And of course over the last sort of 10-20 years that cause become ever more strident as well, hasn't it? And yet it just takes one little bit of lurgy, not even a particularly deadly one, let's face it, for all of that to be thrown out the window. And the thing is, these people who were most vehement in saying never again, we should never have any discrimination of any description whatsoever, they were the ones who were the most keen on persecuting a certain group of people who believe in bodily autonomy. Honestly, it just beggars belief, doesn't it? And I think these people really need to be sort of held to account personally, and I think they will. One other bit of news I saw as well is apparently there's a group of people, I think airline employees, etc., who are taking quite a few major US airlines. I think it's about 18 US airlines and the FAA and the DOT as well, their Department of Transport, I guess that is. They're taking them to court to sue them over these big V mandates that they were forced to have in the United States a few months ago. And apparently, if they're successful, they're going to be going after a lot more airlines, etc., as well, and other institutions who had these things in. So let's hope these civil lawsuits are successful, and if it is, and hopefully it will be, maybe that's the way to go. That's how we hold these people to account. If you've been affected by these mandates in any way, perhaps get together with a few other people, take these people to court. And if enough people do that around the world, take a lot of these big companies, these big institutions to court, hammer them, sue them, hammer them for a lot of money, maybe they'll have so much of this to kind of contend with that some of them will end up going broke, going bust, because they're just having to pay out so much in damages. And wouldn't that be a sweet thing? And it'd certainly make them think twice in the future if they sort of ever dared to bring in this kind of thing again. People can just turn around and say, well, right, but we're going to sue you, and we're going to take you for every penny we can get out of you. So bring it on. So yeah, maybe that is the way we hold these people to account. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that particular story and see how many of these lawsuits come about against various institutions, companies, and even governments perhaps going forward. And let's hope there's an absolute tsunami of them to hammer these people, because that's what needs to happen. So with that thought, I'm going to leave it. Have a good Saturday night, and I'll be back tomorrow. Tim from Fair Play Now. Thanks for watching.